I've literally known Teenie since I was born. He grew up with my mom, and my father was a civil rights and religious leader here in the city. So we would see Teenie several times a week. Teenie was a very handsome gentleman. He was diminutive in size. He was always thin, always fast. And all the people that we've interviewed have said that Teenie was well liked by everyone. No one disliked Teenie.
He really enjoyed making people happy and showing the positive side of Black life as opposed to only the negative. Which doesn't mean that he didn't take anything that was negative, because if it was newsworthy, of course, it's there. But he did look a lot for the positive, I think.
For this exhibition, I wanted to highlight Teenie and his daily life, how he amassed these 80,000 images that are in the collection that we have here at the Carnegie Museum of Art. Teenie Harris was absolutely everywhere. He would start out in the morning and shoot his family and his kids. Then he would go on and he would maybe have an early morning assignment. Then in the middle of the day, he might go to the Courier offices and pick up more assignments and maybe take some photos there. And then he'd start, you know, a real full throttle of running around and catching everything from being in the mayor's office to chalk outlines of bodies to baseball games, everything you can think of. Apparently he'd go home and have dinner and get back out on the circuit and go to the civic events of the evening. And then his highlight was the nightlife. And he'd go to, say, the Crawford Grill or the Lewandai Club or the Flamingo Club, and then he'd go home and literally start developing pictures at home and maybe come back out and take some of these images out to try to sell them.
He had great empathy for children. He had great empathy for conditions that were not, should we say, great conditions. He had great empathy for entertainers. A lot of his work reflects exactly who he is. His personality is imprinted on those photos.
I'm very honored to be the guest curator for this exhibition. For me, it's a way to pay homage to Teenie, to thank him for all my personal history as well as the history of Black Pittsburghers and Black people. I mean, the proof is in the photo. And so, along with someone like an August Wilson, who explains our lives, Teenie does it without a single solitary word.